Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Toronto Raptors video. I feel like, just being real, the Raptors sneaking into that 5th spot, I feel like that's a very realistic possibility. I don't even think the 4th seed is all that far away, but tonight, actually, by the time a lot of you guys watch this video, I would imagine this game is over. Tonight you have the Toronto Raptors versus Boston Celtics. Now, Toronto, dude, I don't know. It kind of sucks because Toronto's going to beat Boston tonight. I don't know if Gary's going to play. Like, obviously, Toronto has injuries of their own, but what really sucks is this is the second leg of a back-to-back for Boston, and I don't know if they're trying to play chess here by not letting Toronto kind of, like, get a feel for their team or, like, their full team, because tonight Boston has Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out for rest, and then they're also going to be without Robert Williams, who got injured last night, and then Al Horford, who's out for personal reasons. So you're literally without 4 of your 5 starters, so it's going to be Marcus Smart. Now, this is still a good Boston team, so, I would imagine it'll probably still be a good game. It just sucks, dude. If you're the Toronto Raptors, you're playing the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I kind of wanted a fully healthy Boston team so Toronto could beat them and be like, yes, Toronto can beat any team in the Eastern Conference. Toronto could make the NBA Finals. I made a video yesterday talking about why Toronto could make the NBA Finals, actually. Welcome back to the channel, though, man. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as we try and hit 10.5K. Let's try and hit 100 likes on today's video. That would be absolutely awesome. Raptors Nation, you guys have blessed my last 2 videos with, over 450 likes. So forever grateful for you guys. Let's try and get 100 likes on today's video. But basically, right now, Toronto's the 6th seed, and they have a 1-game lead over Cleveland. Cleveland plays Orlando tonight. Chicago plays the Pelicans. So I would imagine, actually, that all 3 teams win: Toronto, Chicago, and Cleveland, and I think the standings will be pretty much exactly the same. But Toronto has a really interesting end to their season, and so does Chicago. You guys know I live here in Chicago, so obviously I'm rooting for Chicago. The thing is, with the Bulls right now, I don't even know if necessarily... who knows what's going on with the Bulls, basically, is my point right now. The Bulls have yet to really fully be healthy in several months, with Lonzo Ball still awaiting his return. Everyone else is pretty much healthy, and they're a game ahead of Toronto. So the Raptors, if you're trying to get to that 5th seed, you're going to have to get 2 games over the Bulls. Now, both teams have relatively difficult schedules to remain. There's 8 games left for both teams. I would say Chicago 100% has a harder schedule, though. The Toronto Raptors have a little... They've got, I think, the Rockets in there. You might have the Magic. I can't quite remember, but both teams are playing Eastern Conference top teams. So, both teams are playing Miami. Both teams are playing Philadelphia. Or Boston, or what have you. Basically, they're playing, the top 4. Milwaukee, in Chicago's case, whatever it is. Right now, if you just win basketball games, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. There is a huge logjam in the first, in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference right now, with Chicago, 3.5 games back of first place, and Toronto's only 4.5 games out of first place. So Miami is tanking right now. They're a dumpster fire, dude. And so you have basically a struggling Chicago Bulls team who've only won 4 out of their last 10. And you have a Miami Heat team that is just doggy desperately struggling right now. They are struggling. So top 4 seed, I really don't think it's that out of play. You have 8 games left. You play Miami, you play Philadelphia, you play Boston. Let's say you win 3 of those games and you go 6-2 in your final 8. Toronto will definitely be the #5 seed, but I think even if that happens, Toronto might be the 4th seed. Now, the good news for Toronto, actually, is that they're a really good away team. I mean, they are pretty phenomenal on the road this season, especially. In their last 8 seasons, Toronto has only had 1 year below 500, and that was the Tampa Bay Raptors last year, that I think every Raptors fan is willing to call a wash here, because Toronto is technically in a rebuild here, and they're the 6th seed. They were projected 35 wins by Vegas. They're at 42 right now. I mean, they went above and beyond, and we talked about that. Oh man, I remember making a video early on in the season saying it was like solely a video based on the media disrespecting the Raptors and saying they're only going to win 35 games. I remember saying, like, damn, I wish I knew how to bet on that, because there's no way this Toronto Raptors team does not win at least 35 basketball games. The good news for Toronto is they're starting to get a little bit more healthy. That's the other thing, though, is I would 100% prioritize health over winning these last 8 basketball games. As long as you're a cemented top 6 seed, I don't think the Raptors are really afraid to play anybody. Like, I really don't. I see a lot of people hyping up. I mean, Miami and Chicago right now are almost like afterthoughts. Boston was going to be a really interesting game tonight, because if Toronto beat a fully healthy Celtics squad, it shows them, like, hey, you can still be anybody in the entire NBA. I've mentioned this before, but Toronto is 10-5 against top 3 opponents in either conference, in both conferences. So literally against the top 6 teams in the NBA all season, Toronto's been 10-5, which is by far the best in the entire NBA. Number 2, knocking on their doorstep, was Boston, but I would definitely prioritize health, man. You got Kem Birch. OG was limping the other day. That's not good after the Pacers win. You know, Freddie's obviously still dealing with some knee stuff, and it's honestly translated into a very, very inconsistent Fred VanVleet, which really sucks. I mean, that is definitely a concern of mine. I don't know if it's a concern for other Raptors fans, but Freddie's knee, I know he'll play through it if it ever were to get to that situation, but that's obviously not ideal. And just the limited playing time he's been out on the court translates into a lot more inconsistent and a lot more inefficient basketball. So that really sucks. Thankfully, they have Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and Precious Achiuwa, who are all, and pretty much since the second half of the season, they've pretty much all been balling their asses off. So that's good news. OG, just stay healthy. Freddie, just stay healthy. Gary, just get healthy. And from there on out, you're kind of hoping that bench of Chris Boucher, who's had a phenomenal second half of the season, you're hoping him, along with Thaddeus Young, guys like Kem Birch, even if he's starting, guys like Precious Achiuwa, even if he's starting, Armani Brooks, sharpshooter, three-pointer. I mean, Armani, I think, was a huge, huge piece that they picked up. That is going to be a much-needed player in the postseason. He's not afraid of the moment, and he's going to shoot. And when he is on, he has the ability to take over a basketball game for an entire quarter when he is on. I've seen Armani Brooks drain like 4 threes in just a handful of minutes, and just like that, it's a completely different vibe to the basketball game. So that's really my big thing with Toronto right now, is I know you want to win all these important basketball games, but at the end of the day, if you're a top 6 seed, you just want to get healthy. You want to just get healthy, because obviously Toronto is way ahead of schedule right now. And ideally, Toronto wants to give their young players, especially guys like Scotty Barnes, playoff experience. So if you can win your first round, maybe you lose in the second round or whatever happens, playoff experience is experience. So either way, this season has been a massive success. I think is really what I'm trying to get in here is there is no way you can look at this Raptors season as a failure in any way, shape, or form, especially considering they've only played 17 or 18 games as a fully healthy unit. So that's it for today, man. If you want more Raptors content, I post it pretty much every day, along with NBA videos every day. I got all my links down below in the bio. As always, let's try and get 100 likes on today's video and hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoyed. Peace. And who knows what's about to happen, but once again, I'm going Toronto, especially with all these injuries.